Hello, dear children, and welcome back to the second part of your civics chapter, the Indian Constitution. In this part of the video, we will be discussing about the making of the Indian Constitution and the key features of the Indian Constitution, that is federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of power, fundamental rights, and secularism. First of all, let us all discuss how the Indian Constitution was framed. Children, by the beginning of the 20th century, the Indian national movement had been active in the struggle for independence from British rule. For several decades during the freedom struggle, the nationalists had devoted a great deal of time to imagine and planning what a free India would be like. The long experience of authoritarian rule under the colonial state convinced Indians that free India should be a democracy in which everyone should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in government. To be done then was to work out the ways in which a democratic government would be set up in India and the rules that would determine its functioning. This was done not by one person, but by a group of around 300 people who became members of the Constituent Assembly in 1946 and who met periodically for the next 3 years to write the Indian Constitution. These members of the Constituent Assembly had a huge task before them. The country was made up of several different communities who spoke different languages, belonged to different religions, and had distinct cultures. Also, when the Constitution was being written, India was going through considerable turmoil. All of these issues played on the minds of the members of the Constituent Assembly as they drafted the Indian Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, also known as the father of the Indian Constitution, drafted the final draft of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution and its final draft was completed in the year 1949, whereas the Indian Constitution was adopted on 26th of January 1950, the day we celebrate our Republic Day. Now next, we begin with the key features of the Indian Constitution. Number 1, federalism. This refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. India has 3 levels of the government. The vast number of communities in India meant that a system of government needed to be devised that did not involve only persons sitting in the capital city of New Delhi and making decisions for everyone. Therefore, India has the first level, that is the center level government, state level of government, and the local level of government, which is also known as the Panchayati Raj system in India. In this, the people of the rural India get a chance to participate in the decision-making process. While each state in India enjoys autonomy in experiencing powers on certain issues, subjects of national concern require that all of these states follow the laws of the central government. The Constitution contains lists that detail the issues that each tier of government can make laws on. For example, in the Union list of the Indian Constitution, the subjects of national importance are mentioned on which the national government can make laws, whereas in the state list, the subjects of state importance are mentioned on which only state government can make laws. There is another list in the Indian Constitution, that is the concurrent list. In this, there are subjects which are of concern for both the national and state government. Therefore, both the levels of government can make laws in the subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. Now, next feature of the Indian Constitution is the parliamentary form of government. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult franchise for all citizens. This means that the people of India have a direct role in electing their representatives. Also, every citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can also contest in elections. These representatives are accountable to the people. So children, the next feature of the Indian Constitution is the separation of powers. According to the Constitution, there are three organs of the government. These are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elected representatives who make laws. The executives are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. The judiciary is responsible for enforcing and upholding the laws. It works through a system of courts in this country. In order to prevent the misuse of power by any one branch of government, the Constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different powers. The next key feature of the Indian Constitution is our fundamental rights. The section of fundamental rights has often been referred as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights therefore protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. The Constitution thus guarantees the rights of individuals against the state as well as against other individuals. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has said about these fundamental rights, their objects is twofold. The first objective is to prevent every citizen and should help him to claim these rights. And secondly, these rights must be binding upon every authority that has got the powers to make laws. The Indian Constitution has 6 fundamental rights: the right to equality, the right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. The next feature and one of the most important key feature of the Indian Constitution is secularism. A secular state is one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as the state religion. The Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practice as they interpret these. In keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopts a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of state. Therefore, secularism refers to this separation of religion from state. And it is very important for a country to function democratically. Now let us understand the objectives of Indian secularism. The first objective is that one religious community does not dominate another. Second, some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. And lastly, state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of the individuals as to profess, practice and propagate any religion. So children, with this we end the video and hope these key features remain with you and help you to become a responsible citizen of India. Thank you and God bless.